Greetings and welcome to the Pseudo-Pod-Cast. So, tonight's topic is homebrewing versus reskinning. What is the difference between them, and how are they? When can one be better used than the other? Um, I know for Sifu, you had just recently had a question about the reskinning versus the home brewing with was it with Jack? Robbie? It sounds like they put you in a blender, sir.
Hmm. Okay. And now, can you hear me better?
Much better, much better.
Okay. So, yeah, because Jack is a kangaroo, but I just needed to look like a kangaroo. The other thing I needed, Harrigan had it. So I was like, do I have to make a homebrew for a kangaroo race or just risking the Harrigan? It's easier to reskin if you already know what you're gonna do with it.
Oh yeah, precisely. When it comes to reskinning, is I do a lot of reskinning when if another class or a specific set of skills is already available in there mechanically, and that's what I want to accomplish the same thing mechanically. I will use a reskin. If I can't reproduce it mechanically with something that's already in the system, that's when I'll go to a homebrew. Because I once basically built Iron Man using nothing but a warlock. Marhorn says hi. Oh, howdy, Marhorn. Well, this is going to be a really short podcast. Anybody got any questions? Anything going on? Considering my other things, you got any questions about reskinning and such, Robbie?
How can you make a balance homebrew?
How do you see? That's where I need Tormy. When I go and homebrew stuff, I'm not doing classes or things like that. I'm usually homebrewing items, which is a whole lot easier to deal with than homebrewing a class or a monster. Most monsters, I just reskin them. Oh, there's Chris. You don't get to stand on the sideline, sir. But when it comes to like homebrewing a class or something, your best bet is to look at what kind of which class you're trying to most closely emulate and base it kind of on what that class is able to do at certain levels. Um, I think Tormy actually has a formula that he uses, because he has mapped out all of the classes and when they're getting what kind of abilities, and has broken it down so it's very easy for him to create a homebrew off of that.
That sounds interesting.
Man, this fruit is really good. Frozen cherries and strawberries and blueberries. Very good. Another topic that was brought up was, how do you know when to go from by the rules to rule of cool? And for me, it's kind of a fly by the seat of my pants type thing. I never know exactly when I'm going to switch from one to the other and what situations. What do you think, Chris? If he's even listening. Oh, ha, ha!
I figured out how to get up here.
I
So it usually goes by, like, for me, how the battle's going. Like, if I let them get away with something extra. Like, actually, Angel's battle last night where we had the Rook. Instead of, like, being grappled, she like only cut out one thing. She instead of being grappled and restrained, it was just being grappled. So my character lashed itself to the bird, which wound up being a very bad thing, but that's a different story anyway. Um, but it's something that wouldn't have normally happened, but because we saw how the battle was going and how the rolls were going, she switched over into that kind of stuff.
okay. I do it like one of the things I'll do for the rule of cool is, if a player, if there's a combat going on and a player goes, "Hey, I want to run up, kick off the wall, and come down," they if the player, the more detailed the player tries to describe it, the more action cinematically the player tries to describe something, the more likely I am going to go, give me the roll. Let's do it. Let's just
The race that you had, where me and Skettish were playing together, and I like pulled the kobold out of the chair.
yeah. There's nothing in the rules that talk about how to do something like that. So I was like, that sounds like a cool thing. It'll be a good cinematic event. Do it.
Or teleporting with a dead body away from the enemy.
If it's like I said, there's a range. Certain things you can go, yeah, but then certain, I have to say, is like, no, I'm sorry, I can't let that happen. But if I'm saying no to something, I usually have a reason. I just may not be able to let you know what that reason is.
That's fair.
But I may have a reason for not allowing it. So, Chris, we mentioned earlier reskinning and homebrew.
Oh, I love doing a couple different reskins. Like taking a lower power character and yeah, this looks cool, and then making it a little bit tougher. Like I did just for a recent game with the dolls.
Damn dolls.
Okay, I want to take a moment right here. and talk about these fucking dolls. Because those fuckers could grapple. You did not. And I know you didn't. You did not look at it and go, you know what? There's a couple of lower level characters in here. Maybe, I shouldn't do it at 11 points of fucking damage every time.
It was 2d10. You could take a little bit lower damage.
I had 12 hit points.
Yeah, they were a little bit high for the low level, but like the average person that went there was about a 6.
That's because 3 of them were 12s and the other 2 of us were 2s.
You survived.
I had to play dead.
And that's a battle tactic.
And that is a very good battle tactic. But what gets me about that is if you've been on TikTok in the last couple of days, you've seen those fucking dolls singing. They're singing. There's a bunch of dolls, and somebody used that app to make the dolls move and sing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like a bunch of ceramic dolls sitting in a chest, and they're all singing The Sound of Silence. Hello, darkness, my old friend. And they're all moving their heads and singing. I'm like, nope.
You guys almost noped right out of that mission as soon as you saw the room.
There are a couple of things that are creepy as fuck. I've been in the last city we lived in. They had a doll museum there.
No.
In the train station, they had a little train station museum. The first half of it was like memorabilia from when this train station was an active transit spot. The other half of this building was a doll museum.
No. No.
Just
No.
lines, from floor to, I think the ceilings were about 10 foot tall, and from top to bottom, there was nothing but dolls.
No, that's just nightmare fuel.
Hey,
All
somebody
those
said,
eyes looking.
thank you, Boyd. Well, I didn't see the train. I'm sorry. So singing dolls, that's a good creepy one. The other one is children. I would have given you the same reaction if that room was filled with children singing. Like that that creepy.
It's just 2. It's either 2 or 1. You either have the 2 children with the red rum, or you have, either one child just like singing like the Freddy Krueger thing, or like
All they got to do is look at you and go, do you want to play with me? Nope.
no, for me the creepiest one would be like Raccoon City. What was that movie? Resident Evil, where the Red Queen just looks at you. You're all gonna die down here.
Yeah, nope. But yeah, if it had just been a bunch of kids in there just sitting quietly looking at you, all dressed the same.
Oh, your next mission then is going to be teach a university class.
What'd you say?
Next mission is going to be teach a university class then. Oh, the kids will be sitting there just waiting for you to divulge your knowledge onto them.
You forget he's a student. He's on the GI Bill. But anyway, going back to reskinning, I had mentioned Rodnick earlier that you could build Iron Man using nothing but a warlock.
You can build Iron Man being an artificer.
Precisely. I mean, you could, but here's how artificer you actually have the armor background. Now, what are we talking reskin though? I can take a warlock. You give me mage armor, but just say the armor is visible and not a mystical thing around them. The Eldritch Blast, well, that's just repulsor rays. Invocations could all be things like, was it dark vision? Well, there's your infrared night vision. Your almost everything you can do as a warlock, just with reflavoring it, saying it's something else, but not changing anything mechanically, you can make an Iron Man. And you can do that with several of the classes, just by that reflavoring what it's called, but leaving it mechanically the same. You can pretty much play anything.
The Unibeam will be Fireball.
Oh, Fireball's easy. Because it shoots out a little bead. Grenade.
And you're familiar with the AI.
Precisely. All right. If had mimic in real life, switch with a person's pack of cigarettes. Now, that's just wrong. Smoking is bad. And a mimic will remind you of that. I really had no
Or the
topics.
juice. Either that or the juice for the babes.
Leave my vape alone. That is true. That would get them to quit. Yeah, I seriously had no concept of what I was going to talk about tonight in this podcast. That's why I posted that up in Parliament. I'm like, yeah, what are we talking about?
I think the worst mimic I've seen was the outhouse one. That would just, well, literally scare you.
I sent that to, I put one of those in that box in the BBEG.
Oh, cool.
There was one in there. That, I'm looking for those. But what did I do? A son of a... Somewhere, I got a little box. You can see right up. Well, you can't see it on that screen, but those of you on TikTok, you can see that little line right there. That's a little box that says "not a mimic." I did a video. Somebody, Ogre, had sent me in that box a couple of miniatures. One of them is a beholder wearing a cowboy hat with a lot of beer in his hands, and one of the little cups at the bottom is a mimic. And the other one is a roll of toilet paper that's a mimic. And I don't know what. Oh, I put them over there somewhere. I'm having a weird day.
The toilet paper one is evil. That's just evil.
And it could be fun, though.
Especially after
No.
things chilly. Who suffers more, the person or the toilet paper?
I don't think that toilet paper mimic takes shit from anybody. You can have that one for free. See, what's funny here on TikTok, I'm seeing people that we know here on the server hop in and then hop out again and leave like they're trying to hide or something. Greetings. Welcome to our Pseudopod-Cast. Now that wasn't even nice. I just got tagged.
What is the worst thing that a mimic can turn to?
What is the worst thing a mimic can turn into?
Yeah.
I don't think there's necessarily you could necessarily classify a worst thing a mimic can turn into, because that's going to vary on the person.
I will say a toothbrush.
A toothbrush?
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. But what about an enema?
Ooh.
I mean, there are other things, depending on how creative you want to get, that would be worse for a mimic to turn into.
It's a couple. Oh, no.
If I would, a catheter. Ever need voiceover work? Let me know. I wish I would. I wish I was at a point where I needed voiceover work, because that would be fun. Oh, I have a job for Angel now. I have another job for Angel, I should say. It's, it's not like she's not. She doesn't do anything on the server. I need to put her to work. I say that, and she's going to come out of nowhere and hurt me, isn't she?
Yeah, I think she's taking a day off today.
Ah, good. She deserves it.
Yes.
First you were free. That means, like I said, I have no projects for voiceover work. I wish I did, because that would mean I'd have money to do other projects. To do that, I need more followers. I need more people to come up here and click the subscribe button. Or that's not a subscribe button, the follow button. Or come to Twitch and subscribe with their Twitch subscription, their Amazon Prime subscription. I need people to go to the Zazzle store so they can buy cool shit like this. Or Battle Map ones. That's what I need. Then I might need some voiceover stuff. Actually, I'm looking for a musician if y'all know anybody. The one I thought, or the couple I thought I had, said, yeah, I'll be more than happy to work on that. And I said, well, come up with some prices and things like that and let me know. And they've never done anything. As in, what kind of musician am I looking for? I'm looking for some musicians to give us some intro musics to our various streams. Just like a minute of a minute to a minute and a half to 2 minutes of music, because I have yet to find any of the stuff in the free stuff that I like. I've found plenty of like live action, or not live action, like real music. You know, what? Not real music, because a lot of music is real music. What am I looking for, Chris? Um, Commercial and like artists. I have found artists that I'm like, I would really love to use your song on an intro. Never heard back from them.
Yeah, we need something more than a jingle, though.
Well, I was like, I want something like what is that? What's her name? Peggy? Uh, the one that Villains Aren't Born. Copyrighted music. That's
Mm.
I want to use copyrighted music, but they won't respond to my questioning. I wonder if I could get. There's one person I haven't contacted yet. I may be able to get some music from him, or at least permission to use some of his music. What were we talking about? I've already lost track.
We've done reskinning. We've done homebrew. We've done music, trains, creepy things.
Uh, Talked a little bit of the rule of cool is kind of a got to get a feel for it. Like I said, I prefer it when it's the more cinematic you can make it out, the better. Yeah, but that's a lot more money than I'm wanting to spend on an to deal with an agent and get copyrighted music. That's more money than I have to spend on it. Because those agents want their cut and it gets expensive. So that's the downfall. I gotta find somebody who's good but not famous. I hate to say that. I mean, I'm not good or famous, but I can pluck some strings, but I don't have any of the equipment needed to record it. And it's going to get a good sound. But our show's gone off the deep end.
These things happen.
They do. They do happen. Uh, hey, hey. You are number 2. Voiceover Viking is number 1. Somebody tell Void he's no longer in the top spot.
Uh-oh.
Who's lost his top spot.
Someone talks more than Angel, or more than Orcus.
Yep. Well, he'll come in and he'll drop like one of those emoji things in there or in that top spot, and then he'll leave. uh, I think tonight's probably going to be a short one. Because I don't have anything else to talk about, and I got inspired by rereading an old. That's here's something to talk about. Uh, Nowhere near on our topics. DM tip: if you ever start to run out of ideas and you're just, I have been, because I'm running what, 3 games now, 4 games. So sometimes
OTS, Black City, and Curtain.
home game, Black Door,
Oh,
Obsidian Curtain, OTS. Uh, I start to run thin on the ideas. Um, so I've got some modules and I've got some websites where I'll go in there and look at various things to get inspired. And um, I was reading back through my prepared book, which Chris, you know about that one.
yeah, I got both of them.
Yeah, great set of books. Uh
Yeah, they are.
the Oasis one in the first book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling dibs on that one
Okay.
because that has sparked an entire, that's going to help me fill out my uh the Obsidian Curtain campaign.
Nice.
Just the concept of uh that little bitty one-shot module, and I was like, "Oh, this is so good." Because it ties in with some of the lore I've already created, or that's already been created for Sakaris. So it's going to be so good. So good. So always go back through and look at your old stuff, and there may be a plot hook or something that's you've run across that you never thought about that is now can inspire an entire campaign. Because yeah, that one completely has inspired the new campaign that I started,
Let's hope.
which I may start another game on Thursdays. Um, Running it earlier in the day.
Mm.
Yes. Well, uh, Brandon Cowper, I do know of an excellent site. It's called Incarnate, or Incarnate with a K. And I don't remember I know there's a free section on there. And I've got the paid subscription one, but there's so many things you can do on there. In fact, the design on here on this bandana was created on Incarnate. This was created using Incarnate. So it's not just maps you can create, but they have all kinds of icons and stuff on there to create maps. I have a whole set of maps that I have created that's going on bandanas. Um, that we have over in our Zazzle store, which those of you watching on uh Twitch, that's the address. It's zazzle.com/the AMDM, and you can get like all kinds of cool stuff related. You can get the merch.
And it's really cheap too. If you just want to try it out, it's like $5 a month, and I think 25 for the whole year.
Oh yeah, Incarnate's only like $5 a month if you want to try it out, and $25 for the year. It's real cheap for the year. And if you do it the year, you get all kinds of extra um, icons to use. Another one that I've been playing around with lately that's not free is Dungeon Alchemist. It's $46, but it literally is, you pick the type of room and you draw it to the size and it populates the room with stuff. I've been using that one a little bit. It's really good for virtual tabletops, and it crosses over into like Roll20 and all of those virtual tabletops that have the dramatic lighting and all of that. It handles those really well. It automatically imports all that stuff. I know into Roll20 you can automatically set it up where it does the doors, where the walls are at, and all of that. I don't mess with all of that, but I know it's available.
I like using Don John for our owlbear stuff.
Oh,
If
and
I need a quick map or a labyrinth or something.
with their Don John's map builder, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Don John's got. If you're a dungeon master or even a player, you should go check out Don John. DONJON. Type that in and type in any other word beside it that's D&D related, and it'll take you to their site. You want to build a city? Boom. It'll give you a city. It'll give you districts. It'll give you the walls. It'll give you who's in charge. It'll build a map for you. I don't like their maps, their city maps, but it's something to start with. It'll name it. It's got all kinds of nifty little tools on there.
And they even set up adventures too.
Yeah, you can do full dungeon crawls using that. There's all kinds of stuff. What else do I use? Fantasy name generator. I have a fantasy calendar that I use.
I use rolladvantage.com for my tokens.
Yeah, rolladvantage.com for tokens. Hero Forge to build the images. Snip it, and then roll advantage tokens. I use the Goblinist tool set for building encounters, because you don't have to worry about classes. You just type in like how many players you have and what level they are. It's like you pick the level and you click add player, pick a level, add player. So you get all their levels in there, and then you can choose, easy, medium, hard, deadly, and then you can pick the terrain or the environments. I usually don't mess with that, and I'll just click generate, and it'll give me a list of monsters. It'll be for that CR ratings, and I'll just click through that until I go, ooh, I like that one, and then build something around it. There's a lot of really good websites out there.
And sometimes I just think of like a favorite episode or scene from a movie and just build an account around it.
Y'all don't understand how many episodes and shows of like Flash Gordon, and those old serials, black and white serials, that I have run players through.
I did Superman 2 with the Phantom Zone.
Nice.
I was using the fractures.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of things to inspire. Just look at nerddom in general and you can find something. Shh.
Oh heck, Blight was built off of my favorite anime character.
Blight was built on your favorite which character?
Kirito. At that time, I was really into Sword Art Online, so I made a dual wielder.
You were one of those fans. Oh, I see. I had already watched Hack, and
Hack was a great series.
I had already watched that, and then I get all this stuff Sword Art Online, Sword Art Online. So I go check it out, and I was like, "This is just fucking Hack." And I'm like, "Oh god!" And now I come across stuff that the premise sounds really good, and then it's the same premise of they're stuck in a computer world, or they died, at that time I got reincarnated as. They're killed and reincarnated in a fantasy setting. Which usually only lasts that whole reincarnated part. You really only talk about it for the first 2 or 3 episodes, and then after that it's they almost never even mention it again. What was that? Ichigo? No, Ecchi. I'm not up on the lingo for the different types of anime. My wife and kids are. I just find the ones I like and watch them.
I'm actually working on another one that's going to be like Ghost in the Shell based.
Ooh. I'm currently watching the Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
That looks so good on Netflix.
Oh, it is. The animation studio that put that out, I've got to find some more of their stuff because they did an amazing job. I mean, I may have epileptic seizures after watching the opening credits, but still the anime is amazing.
I'm waiting for the Dragon Prince to come out and drop in, I think it's November.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Have you seen the preview for Slumberland?
No, I haven't.
Oh, Jason Momoa stars in that one
Oh.
as Tibu, like a god of dreams and stuff. So that's going to be interesting. But yeah, there's so many good things out there. All right, I think I'm gonna call it here. Thank you guys on TikTok for coming and hanging out with us for a little bit. You can catch us tomorrow night on Twitch with our Black Door campaign, where our group of assassins who have been running have been given a job. And now they've got to start making their way back to the city that they ran from to finish the job. So we'll see how that goes. That should be a lot of fun. And then Thursday nights, we will be streaming our Obsidian Curtain game. Friday nights is the Order of the Scale. And then Monday night, we're back here with this again. So come check us out and, like and all that good stuff. Thank you again for hanging out with us. Until next time, go forth and roll some dice. Y'all have a good night. Bye, everybody.
Good night, everyone.